Good morning, I'm WaywornWyrm, and welcome to my channel. And welcome to a video that just really wants to be made to the point where I can't sit down and finish putting together the last critical details on the Clone Wars game. That show's probably going to be a couple days late. But YouTube changed some things, and I want to talk about that. So, my channel was monetized at the very beginning. I was part of the YouTube partnership program. I had AdSense, but back then the requirement was essentially don't do anything that has disqualified you. No other qualifications needed. So that was it. And about a month into it, that changed. You had to have 10,000 lifetime views, and the monetization options didn't go away. Turns out there was, as YouTube put it, a bug. We weren't actually grandfathered in. We thought we were, because they couldn't get a critical piece of thing fixed until months and months later, and didn't think to share that with anyone because reasons. And I mean, I kind of get it. YouTube's a big business, blah, blah, blah. But it's frustrating. So, right now, in the wake of this newest rule change, under the old goal of 10,000 views, I'm at just shy of 20% of the way there. 20% of the way to getting the chance to be judged to see if they deem me worthy once again of making money off of YouTube, which is something that I haven't made a secret about. That's my goal. I want to make money doing this. I want this to be a job. It's not right now. It's a hobby that I fit around the rest of my schedule, because it doesn't pay the bills. It's paid $1.17 that is locked behind a door until that $1.17 becomes $100. But 20% of the way there, and I'm on a wonderful growth curve that I'm going to talk a lot about in Friday's video. But suffice it to say that my current growth trend puts me at 10,000 views probably early this summer. That's probably a realistic view. But now, instead of getting 10,000 views in a lifetime, I have to have 4,000 views, or 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 38 subscribers and 174 hours, 174.85 hours. So essentially 175. So those, one of them is 3.8%, the other is like 4.2. It averages to, I'm 4% of the way to the new goal. Phillip DeFranco has a take on this. I'm going to link to his show in the description. I think he misses a few key things, but overall, he does a pretty decent job of talking about it, like he does with most stories. Then I'm also going to link to something I haven't yet watched, and I probably am not going to watch, at least for a little bit. And that is a over hour-long conversation that Hank Green had with some people. Because I think Hank Green is one of the best people to talk to when it comes to making videos, be it on YouTube or elsewhere. So, yeah. But let's talk about some stuff. So going to the creator blog, it starts off with 2017 marked a tough year for many of you, with several issues affecting our community and the revenue earned from advertising through the YouTube Partnership Program. Yep. In April, you realized that there were a bunch of videos that advertisers didn't want their stuff on, that were on your site, and you didn't really have anything in place to stop that. And as always, you overcorrected. Despite these issues, more creators than ever are earning a living on YouTube, with the number of channels making over 6 figures up 40% year over year. In 2018, a major focus for everyone at YouTube is protecting our creator ecosystem and ensuring your revenue is more stable. Awesome. So, according to that, you're going to try and fix what you broke last year. Because the number of channels making over 6 figures. So you're talking about the big channels. Cool. But I get it. I really do. YouTube is a business. From their perspective, it is better for a smaller number of large channels making up the majority of the programming than a bunch of small channels. Just for all the reasons. From a business standpoint, that's what you want. From a consumer standpoint, you want all of the small channels, because all of those small channels are going to give you so much more diversity than those big channels, even if they make the same number of minutes of stuff. But last year, creators of all sizes felt like YouTube was time and time again choosing to side with the advertisers over the creators, and the rule changes that they made and the policies that they implemented and the way they handled things benefited advertisers at the cost of creators. Susan mentioned in December, we're making changes to address the issues that affected our community in 2017 so we can prevent bad actors from harming the inspiring and original creators around the world who make their living on YouTube. I want to point out the phrase bad actors. I think they mention it a couple more times through this post. But that's all they say, is there are bad actors that harm the stuff, harm the creators, create harmful views somehow. Nobody knows who these bad actors are. Hank Green, who I've mentioned before in this video just a couple minutes ago, when he was tweeting about this, that was one of his big things, is this doesn't seem to be a problem to him, but without knowing who these bad actors are, there's really no telling. Let's see. A big part of the effort will be strengthening our requirements for monetization so spammers, impersonators, and other bad actors can't hurt our ecosystem or take advantage of you while continuing to reward those who make our platform great. Okay. So, impersonators, I get. There are a bunch of channels who their entire purpose is to pretend to be a big time YouTuber. They'll take, they'll basically screen cap the videos and re-upload them. Or if they have like YouTube Red or something, they'll download the video and then just re-upload it, pretending to be, say, Markiplier, say, Jacksepticeye, blah, 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 blah. Spammers do similar things, usually trying to get you to a phishing website or a website that will, that's PH, phishing, not F. Basically, try and get either malware on your computer or get your information. And then, again, other bad actors. There's that phrase again. They've singled out two types of bad actors that I get, but they don't. Who are these other bad actors? Back in April of 2017, we set a YouTube partnership program eligibility requirement of 10,000 lifetime views. While that threshold provided more information to determine whether a channel followed our community guidelines and policy, it's been clear over the last few months we need a higher standard. Who has that been clear to? Yeah, I'm having a hard time looking at the old requirement and then looking at the new requirement and trying to figure out that gulf between, who falls in between, and how this new requirement is far enough to get these, quote, bad actors whose stuff, who meet the old standard but suddenly won't meet the new one. Starting today, we're changing the eligibility requirements for monetization to 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. We've arrived at these new thresholds after thorough analysis and conversations with creators like you. Okay. I've heard of one creator who they talked to, and that was Phillip DeFranco. He mentioned that. He gave his 2 cents. And that's it. And then thorough analysis. I'm just going to have to take their word. They will allow us to significantly improve our ability to identify creators who contribute positively to the community and help drive more ad revenues to them. And then in parentheses, and away from bad actors. Again, this phrase they keep using, it's a boogeyman phrase. It has the same justification as every time the Patriot Act here in the U.S. goes up for debate. Use this vague term of terrorists to justify it and justify continuing that particular law. Just this vague group of other that is bad. We need to prevent these bad. These higher standards will also help us prevent potentially inappropriate videos from monetizing, which can hurt revenue for everyone. I agree with that part. What I'm pretty sure they're talking about there is that weird thing that's happening on YouTube Kids. And in a brief synopsis, there are a bunch of really weird, creepy videos that use cartoon characters and things that should be kid friendly but have adult content. Like the Joker impregnating Elsa, or Spider-Man peeing on someone, or him getting stabbed with needles, or someone else killing someone, or... Yeah, it's bizarre. It's creepy. It's definitely something I wouldn't want hypothetical kids watching. Or non-hypothetical kids, for that matter. I have several nieces. I wouldn't want any of them watching it, even the ones who are older. So, the way that the new standard helps prevent those is the 1,000 subscribers. YouTube Kids, they don't have subscriber rates that are comparable to to normal YouTube stuff. On February 20th, 2018 will also implement this threshold across existing channels on the platform to allow for a 30-day grace period. On that date, channels with fewer than 1,000 subs or 4,000 watch hours will no longer be able to earn money on YouTube. When they reach 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, they will be automatically re-evaluated under strict criteria to ensure they comply with our policies. New channels will need to apply, and their application will be evaluated when they hit these milestones. So, what does that bit mean? That means if you're not at that mark, don't worry. You've got a month to make it. Hope you're close. Yeah. And then the next paragraph comes off as the largest, most patronizing pile of shit that I've ever seen. And this is the part that is probably creating the most ill will. Though these changes will affect a significant number of channels, 99% of these channels affected were making less than $100 per year in the last year, with 90% earning less than $2.50 in the last month. Any of the channels who will no longer meet this threshold will be paid what they've already earned based on our AdSense policies. After thorough consideration, we believe these are necessary compromises to protect our community. Don't worry, it'll affect a bunch of people, but 99% of them are making chump change, and 90% of them aren't making enough to buy a meal at a fast food restaurant. So don't worry, it's not an issue. You know, they're a necessary sacrifice to protect the community. Such patronizing garbage. That completely devalues any channel that falls under that. This channel falls under that. Yeah. And YouTube is fine with it because I made a insignificant amount of money on their channel last year. That's what they're telling me. Of course, size alone is not enough to determine whether a channel is suitable for monetization, so we'll continue to use signals like community strikes, spam, and other abuse flags to ensure we're protecting our creator community from bad actors. As we continue to protect our platform from abuse, we want to remind all of you to follow YouTube's community guidelines, monetization basics and policies, terms of service, and Google AdSense program policies, as violating any of these may lead to removal from the YouTube Partnership Program. Okay. If that's as effective as that paragraph implies, why isn't that the whole change? Why make monetization harder if community strikes, spam, and other abuse flags are enough to protect from bad actors who somehow slip through their 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of view time? While this change will tackle the potential abuse of a large but disparate group of smaller channels, we also know that the bad action of a single large channel can also have an impact on the community and how advertisers view YouTube. We'll be working to schedule conversations with our creators in the months ahead so we can hear your thoughts and ideas and what more we can do to tackle that channel. Basically, PewDiePie and Logan Paul is who they're talking about there. Both have done stupid things. And especially in the Logan Paul case, YouTube handled it like shit. Just straight up. They handled the Logan Paul thing so poorly that it's laughable. Then there's a next thing talking about one of their core values is to provide anyone with the opportunity to earn money from a thriving channel. And don't worry, you can still benefit from the Creator Academy, the Help Center, and all the resources on the creator site to grow your channel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like, that's not even worth doing anything more than summarizing. That ends with, even though 2017 was a challenging year, thanks to creators like you, it was full of the moments that make YouTube such a special place. Creators large and small, established and emerging, transformed their talent and originality into videos that captivated over 1 billion people around the world. They made us laugh, taught us about our world, and warmed our hearts. And let's see, those are hyperlinks? Yeah, they're videos. Let's see what videos they've decided One was from... first one's Elisha Koshy. That has over 20 million views. That was the one that made us laugh. The one that taught us about our world is History of the Entire World, I guess. Channel called Bill Wirtz. Don't worry. That one only has 2.1 million subscribers. Video's been viewed close to 38 million times. And let's see who warmed our heart. Casey Neistat. Abandoned mall turned into winter wonderland. He has close to 9 million subscribers. So apparently Bill Wirtz at just over 2 million subscribers. That's a small channel. We're confident the steps we're taking today will help protect and grow our inspiring community well into the future. Neil Moen, Chief Product Officer, and Robert Knikel, Chief Business Officer. Yeah, so that's that. It's bullshit. I think this is just another thing that's been poorly communicated. It shows they don't really care that this channel exists. And, I knew they didn't care beforehand, but every part of this was just yeah, this is gonna suck for some channels, but don't worry, they don't make enough money anyway to really matter. And then just the plug of, here are 3 awesome videos from YouTube-approved creators that show awesome videos they made last year. Woo! I hadn't actually fully read the last paragraph. I didn't notice until I was reading it just a minute ago that those were hyperlinks. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened. Do you know what else is going to happen? There's going to be a huge increase in people who beg, I'll sub you if you sub to me. Well, let's get to that 1,000 subs. Woo! That's one of the unintended consequences. I'm already starting to see it in a couple of places. Yeah. I don't really have anything more to add on this. I've been making this video for 2 hours. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to upload it. There's probably not going to be a normally scheduled video on Thursday. I apologize one last time for that. Friday show will go up. Friday show will be normal. So, yay!